I don't think we're gonna see the Goliath we have at the back. The Goliath, bro. 2, 12 much
I'm massaging my time like an Abri. Gatsby got me feeling great. I got a false 9 and an anchor. My wing is just there for the bait. Slick. I know Nansbury or Sanya or Adebayo. If I score this goal in a glide, Oliver Twist, man, I want some more. I got 3 at the top, that's full 3-3. My Spaniel boy racing clubs. When it comes to the new regime, if I shoot a shot like Haaland, I just want me a chocolate darling. Belgian thing I defend like a Marlin. Aim high, just shoot for the target. Me done talking.
Yes, people, you already know where it is. Smiling. Look to my left, look to my right. See my favourite guys.
The bros, them.
The man, them. The people. The nation.
The gang, them.
The gang.
Come on, man.
The team.
The squadron.
It says out there, man.
It feels so good to be back.
Is that what my comment now? New season, man. Come on, man.
But nah, if you haven't already guessed, we rebranded. We've come back stronger, bigger, better. 3 up top.
That's right.
We haven't even decided. The number 9.
The number 9 is.
The number 11 and the number 7.
You know who the number 9 is, man. We had this discussion.
No, he's a bagsman, so he can.
We had this discussion.
Yeah, but he's a bagsman on the pitch, but off it when we're talking, is he the bagsman?
Come, man.
GBC, that's
bro,
GBC.
the key ingredient by stay out the mix. Come, man. You know the pattern already, man.
The number
Come,
9
man.
stay at the mix, though.
Huh?
The number 9 is deep in the mix.
Nah, that's you, man's job. Do the fancy stuff. Me,
Finish it.
finish your job, man.
Cool. I think I might put a poll up when we get more popular.
No, you know what?
To decide the numbers.
My birthday is the 11th. All my shit is around.
Cool.
11.
You take 11.
So
Me and you
know
now we have to decide between 7 and 9.
Not today. 3 up top, man. We're back again. Highpressmedia. It's that show where we're just gonna basically be banging in goals for you, man. Scoring a lot of takes, registering a lot of assists, making sure that you understand what we're trying to do today and understand what we're trying to do in football. What, you don't like that?
You rehearsed that, innit?
No,
That was
I
cold.
didn't.
That was cold. That was cold. I looked at him like, raw, like, you rehearsed that. You're a liar. You rehearsed it. No, but it's cool, though.
It came to me
No, but
naturally.
it's cool, though. You rehearsed it, but it's cool, though. Come, man.
It's all-
Come, man. That's a registering assist. Come, man. Scoring
Rolls
takes.
off the tongue.
Take number 9. I don't even want it, though. Take number 9, man. I don't want it, though.
Nah, I hear it, man. I hear it. Look, at the end of the day, we've rebranded. We've got Adam in the back. We've got Kieran, who's somewhere. But it's all good, man. It's all blessed. It's all cushy. Fam, I don't want to waste time. I want us to talk football. Obviously, episode 1, season predictions. What are we doing first? Champions. It's the only place to start. I think we should start with you.
Yeah?
Champions, defending champions. We saw you play today.
Yeah.
When you watched this yesterday. Feed in a bit of what you saw today and why you've gone with Chelsea. Liverpool. Oh my goodness. Yeah. You said Liverpool.
So yeah, man. So I'll go. The reason I said Liverpool is because I do think that they're gonna come back much better this year, man. They got Van Dijk back, the best centre back in the world. They've also gone and got Ibrahim Konate. Saw a lot of him in the Bundesliga. He's a quality centre back, man. And I feel like he fits the mold of what Liverpool are looking for. Of course, essentially the stem is still there. Do you get what I'm saying? I know they had hiccups last year, obviously with the injuries and trying to fit in Thiago and all that jazz. But I feel like if Liverpool play how Liverpool's supposed to play, then they're right back in the mix, man. As well as that, I think Jota is a better Firmino. You've now got a striker who can get goals, and he fits in very well with Mane and Salah as well. I feel like that was a...
He scored yesterday as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was a large speculation as well, was that if Liverpool do go for a new striker, will they complement Salah and Mane in the way that Firmino does? And I feel like we saw from last season, man, that Jota does that job quite well. Do you get what I'm saying?
Can rotate anyone.
Yeah, man. I feel like for me, Liverpool's midfield doesn't need to be potent for them to be successful. They've shown that over the past, you know what I mean, 4 years or whatever. So, yeah, for me, man, I think once they're kicking again, solid result on the weekend as well. Do you get what I'm saying? So
Good performance.
I think they're cool, man. The reason why I haven't gone for City this year, and it's all still speculative at this point, but I think if we end this transfer window without getting Harry Kane in, I don't think... last year, we done our thing. Won the league without a striker. It hasn't been seen before in the Prem. Do you know what I'm saying? Kudos. But I think this year with the likes of Chelsea, how they're coming, with the likes of United, they're coming in. With the likes of Liverpool, they're coming back. Do you know what I'm saying? I just feel like having a striker for us this season will give us that edge just to take it clear. I think as it is right now, it's very tight. All the teams are near enough, quite in the same kind of vicinity. Do you know what I'm saying? Us getting a striker takes us clear. If you get Harry Kane, we're clear. Like, clear winners, innit?
Do you think that happens?
Alright, cool. So let me tell you this now. Today, we lost, yeah, against Spurs.
Yep.
Me, personally, I think it was a Pep masterclass. And I'll tell you why. No, I'll tell you why. Alright, cool.
He's playing chess.
We walk away from that game, yeah, winning 4-5, and then we batter Tottenham, yeah? Don't give them a sniff, we batter them. Leave you looking at this team like, nah, man. You don't stand a chance without Harry Kane, man. We're done. Like, we're done. We're getting smoked without Harry Kane. They come away from this game, 1-0, leave you looking at like, you know what? Can't lie, we held our own against the champions, yeah? With their new 100 million man, yeah? Held our own. We sell Harry Kane now, that 100 or so million that we get from him, build another team. You know what I'm saying? We've got Son for another 4 years.
Do you think it can make the reverse effect, though? In terms of, he's like...
We can do this without Kane, so if we add Kane...
No. So the reverse effect is he increases, the price of the brick goes up because...
We ain't seen Kane in action.
That doesn't matter. He knows what is...
Oh, because we lost, we know that we're dying for a striker.
Exactly. He knows you're desperate.
But
so
then,
now he even knows you're desperate because you lost to a team that's depleted.
But are we desperate, though? That's the question.
You are desperate. You're not winning the league again without a striker. That's for a fact.
I don't think...
That isn't happening. That's why you don't have your team first.
You can't say that for a fact, man.
No.
Let me tell you why. Because after Chelsea, who's your second team to win the league? Be honest.
Yeah, I will see.
Who's yours?
Man United.
Who's yours?
Man United.
Who's yours, Daniel?
You got United second in the table.
Why?
Who's yours,
Wait,
Daniel?
second after... City are my third favourites. One, the biggest reason why I say they're my second favourites is because I don't believe this team is ready to go back-to-back, to win the league back-to-back. And winning the league back-to-back is a very tough feat to do. The reason why the only team that's done it in like the last, 10 years is the Man City team that Pep's had. And that was like with the strong core of Kompany, David Silva. De Bruyne was in those teams. Aguero was in those teams.
You don't think you have a strong core...
I don't think you have a strong core...
To
go back to back.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't believe you're good enough to go... Not good enough, sorry.
What?
That's the wrong word. I don't think you're strong enough to go back to back.
Why? What don't we have that we had in those teams?
One thing I will say is...
The striker is the biggest thing.
Yeah,
no, 100%. But my point is, I said it earlier, I feel like as the teams are presently constructed, we're all really...
There's a reason why... Of course.
So really and truly, there is about a 25% chance
me saying
that
Man
you can win the
City...
league.
By the way, me saying Man City are third is because I think it might be... It come down to 1 or 2 points. It's not about United are second by 25 points.
And he's United striker anyway.
One sec. They got Mason Greenwood, Rashford...
Not Premier League winners, man.
They are.
Not Premier League winners.
They're going to win Premier Leagues.
That's yet to be seen.
That's
yet to be seen.
Ferran Torres.
For United, yeah.
For anybody.
For United, yeah.
Cavani's proven. He's a bit old, a bit long in the tooth.
But then this is a team that essentially we've kept every single player that we had last year. And we added a Jack Grealish.
No, but
so why is it now that we've gone from first and now
the point that we're making is the point I'm making, is although every Pep team is impressive, every Pep team that wins the league is impressive, this isn't the most unbeatable Pep team. That's my point. You've got weaknesses in your team. Like, for example, yeah, we can talk about Benjamin Mendy. He probably won't play again. However, I don't think Zinchenko is the strongest. He showed he
had a very good season last year.
He had a good season, but again, his defensive frailties is another thing that cost you in the Champions League final, for example.
That's one game, man.
No, yeah, but the biggest game of his career.
We're talking about a season, though, man.
Talking about the biggest game of his career. This is my point.
Wait, one sec. Fernandinho. Fernandinho's not playing 38
One sec. Fernandinho, yeah, that's neither here or there. That's not even where I'm going to. Again, the striker thing. There's a reason why. And I don't even get why you're getting so defensive about it. You started off...
No, it's just the way that you attacked us. I don't like the tone. The tone is mad to me, man.
The way you man came across...
for a fact. For a fact. That's crazy.
The way you first started off his little monologue was by saying it's contingent on us getting a striker. And that's very, very important to them. Especially after seeing what happened today.
Yeah.
Like, you man were... I wouldn't even say in desperate need of a striker because I don't even think you lot played well enough to win. You had the chances though to win where if you had a striker like Harry Kane, that one chance, those two chances you got in the 90 minutes you would have put away. Yeah. That's why I'm saying I think Man United and Chelsea have gotten that good that you cannot afford to not get a striker and win the league in the same manner you did. Bro, let me tell you now, you won the league in that 12 winning streak.
No, but you're essentially saying my point. You're
But I'm saying we're not going to give you that leeway to just win whilst we're losing.
No, bro, I agree.
One sec.
I agree.
Let me even finish it off by saying, even after that win streak, Man United beat you, and there was a point where they were top of the league.
So we got their number.
No, but my point is, that's between you two, innit? But my point is, like, even after that win streak, we saw that Man United were able to get top. Yes, it wasn't the best version of Man United, but that even makes it more scary, the fact that Man United have improved, and it shows that they can go top of the league. The same thing with Chelsea. For me, I believe we've improved. We've got a better manager now who's in and is starting from the get-go. So City have less room to experiment.
Less room for error.
Exactly, way less room. And I don't believe this team is ready to go perfect. Remember when it was Man City, Liverpool going toe-to-toe, where whoever dropped a point was going to be out of the title race, and these men basically didn't drop a point from the start till the end, and Man City won. Was it on goal difference or you won it on the final day?
You won it on points.
100 points. 98 points. 98 points.
The 98 point season, but you still had to win your last game.
No, we wanted to see the game before.
Yeah.
I think.
The game before was the game before.
I think it was.
I can't remember, but it was like 2 games left in it basically.
It was when it was the company goal against Chelsea.
Liverpool got 97.
Was it company goal?
Yeah,
Leicester.
I remember.
Not the header, the long range.
The banger. Don't shoot Vinny.
I don't think that won the league though. I think it basically that was the last hard game.
Yeah.
You had like 2 games left after that, something like that. But yeah, cool.
No, but that's still, you got to put respect on City's name.
That's
I know. I'm just saying that.
I definitely agree with you in the sense where I feel like the champions will probably win the league by no more than 5 points, in my opinion, innit? But I think, of course, like I said, my point was I feel like we're all in and around the mix. I still think that we're a superior team. We're the best team in the Prem. I still believe that, innit? We've kept the same core that we had last year, and we've added Jack Grealish. So for me, the disrespect shouldn't be there, innit? Because yes, we need a striker, and I've established that. I don't think we're going to blitz the league without a striker. I think it's very hard for us to win without a striker. Hence why I haven't passed first, innit? But it's just the fact that he said for a fact we're not winning. I don't like that. Can you change that, please? Just change that.
It was a bit excessive.
He said for a fact.
It was excessive.
He said for a fact.
I don't believe.
As in 1 + 1 is 2. Facts. That kind of facts. Like,
have you got them third in your top 4?
Man City won't win the league. No, I didn't say third in my top 4. I said I don't believe they're. So if if Chelsea don't win the league, I don't think they're next in line to win. I think Man United are genuinely next.
Yeah, but then we should be second.
No, it doesn't work like that. Just because I have them first, it doesn't mean I push.
And also, you haven't commented on
based on circumstance.
You haven't commented on United's frailties either. Why? Like, there was a reason why.
We can let that one. So I'm with Darren on that.
What?
I like it.
That
don't make no sense. You're trying to say United have a better chance than City of winning the title.
And as well as that,
we're also going to finish third.
United were top.
It makes sense.
No, it don't.
It does. In my head, it does. In my head, it does. Because
it's the same thing.
Hold on, because the top 4 doesn't. First and second, or first is basically what's it called? Separate from everything else. Whoever wins the league obviously wins the league.
Well, I haven't talked about 4 or 5 points though.
No, but yeah, that's why it's so hard to predict. That's why my point even makes more sense. Because it's so hard to predict who's going to finish second. Bro, last season we saw Liverpool finish third, and no one could have seen that coming from where it was, and that was because of how the table set itself out. The last day of the season, Chelsea could have finished third, Liverpool could have finished third, and Leicester could have finished third. And that's literally because of the way, and I think that's the same thing with me. I'm basically saying the reason why I have Chelsea as favourites to win the league, then I have Man United as favourites to win the league, but just because Chelsea win the league, it doesn't mean I think Man United will finish second. It doesn't work like that. I'm just talking about my first. And we're going with
I think you're alone in that, but that's fair.
Yeah, no. I've explained it for you. You don't have to agree with it. I'm just saying.
That's fair.
I'm going with my...
A bit dubious, but...
No, I'm going with my first option. And my first option, we'll obviously talk about everyone's thing, but first option is Chelsea to win the league. But are you worried, though? Because if you don't get a striker, you'd obviously have Liverpool winning the league. Do you think Man City is your second?
I think, personally, you man won't even see it. I put City as third for the title, man. Well, in the league.
Yeah, so and this is why I'm confused then. You're so obsessed about disrespect.
No,
the team that you support.
Okay, cool, but my thing is, this isn't. I haven't done this based on the bias is out of the question for me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Of course,
and this is strictly like a journalist.
Of course,
do you know what I mean?
But isn't it disrespectful from you to not have Man City?
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is because my thing is, I put them third, but if we win the league, I wouldn't be surprised. if you come second, I wouldn't be surprised. If you
What
come
they're saying,
third,
if we win the league, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised because I do think it's that
But I
tight.
have us third.
I do.
If we're talking about
bro,
discrepancies,
I literally
there's one back there.
I literally told you that the difference between first and probably third is going to be within like 5 points.
Fair. No,
Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like I think we're going to be third without a striker. But if we win or become second, I wouldn't be surprised. We're not coming fourth. I know that for a fact. That I can tell you for a fact.
You're still trying to do Champions League over Premier League, so.
That's what I'm saying. But I even think that with this season, if we don't get a striker, forget Champions League as well.
You think so?
Forget Champions League as well.
The composition ain't stiff like that.
Huh?
You have a better chance winning the Champions League than you do Premier, if I'm honest.
They ain't doing what they did to PSG last year.
You're probably right. Yeah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that again.
PSG.
We ain't doing that again. But that's what I'm saying. For me, it's like. But then again, it's luck of the draw, innit?
Exactly.
Really and truly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, man.
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. Look, it's fair enough. I mean, we've both got Chelsea, probably for the same reasons.
Yeah.
Yes, you can go through, man.
Yeah, I just think you, man. Last season, you showed what we were about. Solid defensively, probably the best defensive team.
Adam's smiling in the back. He loves that.
I'm loving it with the Chelsea shirt on. No, I can't lie. What you do defensively is very impressive. Like shutting out City multiple times, like in the Champions League final.
More.
I'm just speaking, you know. I ain't giving you flowers, but I'm just speaking as an analyst. Chelsea are very impressive defensively. Chaloba's come in, performed well. It just feels like no matter who comes in,
Can I ask a
they're
question?
going to defend well.
Do you believe in the essence of like a honeymoon period? Do you think Tuchel's still in his honeymoon period?
That's a good point. But you know why that is void? You know why that's void?
We lost to West
Because
Brom 5-2.
you just got Romelu Lukaku.
We lost to West Brom 5-2. We lost to West Ham. Was it West Ham we lost to? Who did we lose to 1-0?
Last season.
There was a loss under Tuchel that was just so annoying.
I remember that.
It's all forgotten now.
It's because of Champions League. So for that honeymoon thing for me is just BS.
No, but because really and truly, he hasn't completed a season yet.
The reason why we're also confident in Tuchel is because of obviously principles and all of that. Da-di-da-di-da. I can go on about all the theory side of things, why we love Tuchel, da-di-da-di-da. There's one reason why we're winning the league, and you'll see it throughout this episode and understand it. Big 4-4, no safety. Big 4-4, no safety. If you don't know me, you should know by now that I'm a big Romelu Lukaku fan, have been for a very long
Big
time.
4-5, by the way, not 4-4.
No, 4-4.
It's 4-5.
It's 4-4, check.
It's big 4-5, bro.
I'm telling you.
It's big 4-5, bro.
Just check,
now,
just check.
bro. Big 4-5.
Just check. Check it right now. You have a laptop right in front of you. Type in big 4-4, no safety.
But regardless,
Anyway, he's done the Google search and it came straight down, live and direct.
No, but
anyway.
there's big 4-5 as well, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm talking
We're both
about
right.
4-4. Alright, cool. Say no more. Anyway,
clutch it.
but now, in all seriousness though, Lukaku I think is the missing piece to the puzzle. Yeah. I think he bags a lot of goals for us. Like I keep hammering home, Chelsea had the second most, and I don't really like stats too much, but one stat I do pay attention to is XG, because I do think that shows if you're making chances and whether you're converting your chances. Chelsea had the second highest XG last season, I think about 0.3 behind Man City, showing you we weren't that far behind Man City, and Man City were the top goal scorers in the league last year. But we were 20th in terms of actually converting XG, showing you we had the biggest discrepancy, I think, since the stat.
Timo Werner.
I mean, it wasn't just Timo Werner missed a lot of big chances, of course, high-profile chances, and his misses looked the worst, so he was going to get the slack. But Kai Havertz missed a lot of chances when he played striker as well. Pulisic missed a bucket load of chances. Ziyech missed a lot of chances. So everyone who played a bulk of minutes in those attacking areas, Mount missed a lot of chances. Bro, Mount missed I wouldn't call it a sitter, but it was a big chance in the Villa game where you want, in the last game of the season, where you want our players to come up clutch in serious situations. So for me, I just think Lukaku closes down that discrepancy so much that it pushes our team forward in terms of winning the league. Like a lot of people are saying last year, and I don't know if you can shout it out quickly, Adam. If Tuchel was in charge at the beginning of last year, where do you think we finished? I think we're comfortable top 4. Maybe not win the league, but comfortable top 4.
I'd probably have us above United.
Because we were like 7th when Lamps got sacked.
Bro, the craziest thing is we were first going into December.
That was smart, bro.
Hey, I went trying.
We were first going into December. Literally, that Christmas period just was awful.
Do you know what it is though? I think for me though, I've got an asterisk next to Chelsea. The reason being, I think for me, you get to really see how great a manager or team is when things go wrong. And it will go wrong at some point. Not necessarily fall apart, but there will be a period, like there'll be a patch where it's tough. And I think for me, I'll get to see what Tuchel and Chelsea are really made of when they come out of that patch and how they come out of that patch. Do you know what I mean? And do you know what I mean? The kind of...
Of course.
Because for me, that's literally it. Because Pep had that same thing. First season.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Fourth.
Yeah, exactly. I feel every manager has that
My
season.
thing is, though, the reason why I'm so confident in Tuchel is because everyone's spoken about patches and we've had bad results. Well, it's just because we won the Champions League and you're looking at the season as a whole that everyone's now like, oh yeah, cool, Chelsea are this great team.
No, but because we even said if you lose the Champions League, it's still not a bad season.
No, I know, of course not, because we weren't even expected to get to the final.
Yeah.
But the point is, Tuchel was still expected to get top 4. There was still like the thing about he could get sacked if he doesn't get top 4. I obviously thought it was crazy, but there was still that thing over his head. He had to get top 4. 2, there were a couple of bad results last season. Like even under Tuchel, like there were some 0-0 draws that we were making excuses for, if we're being honest. Like we weren't happy with.
And you weren't scoring a lot of goals.
Yeah, exactly. It was 1-0s, 2-0s, like, and they were very, very tight games. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of Chelsea fans, if there was one criticism of Tuchel, we wanted to be more comfortable in games.
Sure.
And that was a thing that came up a lot. So for me personally, I think this bad patch thing, I think not that we've had a bad patch, but we've shown that we can have bad games, but we respond well to them.
Yeah.
And the best way to respond to a bad game or a couple of bad games is by winning the Champions League. That's what we did.
Really? But regardless, I think the point you made is correct in that whoever wins the title, it's going to be a slim...
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
margin.
But it's going to be 4 or 5 points, 3 points, whatever. For me, what puts Chelsea over the top is you can win in a number of ways, which for me, that's if you can't win in numerous ways, you're not going to win at the highest level. You need to win grimy games. You got to win shootouts. Do you know what I mean? You got to be able to do it in a number of ways. And Lukaku is a big time addition.
We'll leave it there, innit? Let's have a look at our top 4s. Do the honours, Darren. So yeah, the main thing I want to focus on here is the Leicester shout. I need to understand the Leicester shout over Liverpool.
I just don't think Liverpool are going to be what they want to. Everyone's assuming that Liverpool's going to get back to the top. I don't have that same assumption. Everyone's assuming Virgil van Dijk's going to go back to being the best in the world. You said he's still the best in the world. I would disagree.
But even if...
You think the best centre-back in the... Whoa. You think the best centre-back in the league
I think it's to be confirmed. I'm not just going to knight you as the best centre-back in the world when you've been out for a full season. I can't do that. I can't do that.
If KDB's out for years and he comes back, is he still the best midfielder in the world?
No. I need to see you do it. Man just done his ACL. So I should just assume that you're going to get back to your...
I don't know about that. It's a bit like... It's a bit like the Tyson Fury thing. Like, he went out... even though his was a longer period of time, I mean, he won all the belts. Like, he said he wants all the belts.
I'm not... Yeah, that's the thing, though. He was screaming, lineal champ. He had to come back, beat Wilder, and that's when we said Tyson Fury's back.
Cool.
I'm not just going to say, Virgil van Dijk is the best in the world when he ain't...
Cool. I'll post something to you, yeah. Cool. So you've got Leicester 4th in it over Liverpool.
One little moment.
You got Leicester 4th over Liverpool, yeah. This is the same Liverpool team who were injury depleted last season, still came third.
Exactly.
They've now got Virgil van Dijk back. They've got Ibrahim Konate as well. Robertson's going to miss the first couple of games of the season,
might not even play.
but he'll be in the mix. Salah started the season on fire.
Yep.
Leicester, they bottled it last year.
For 2 years, they bought.
Yeah, they bought it for a few years now. So what makes you think that Leicester have now catapulted over?
Listen, this is not
Liverpool.
Leicester's going to
Nigerian
take
name.
the step. Do you know what I mean?
No, it has to be that Leicester because it's either your premise for your top 4 is either Leicester have done something amazing to now leapfrog over Liverpool, or Liverpool have done something egregious to where they've now
I disagree.
fallen
I
behind
don't
Leicester.
think the gap between the top 4 and Leicester is huge. I think Leicester are in that mix. Not that it's a top 5, but I think whoever's in that at the bottom of that top 4, Leicester's not going to.
But my point was, a Liverpool team with one leg came third last year.
Yeah, that's nice. This is a new season.
I just want to check something, just to clarify something. This is just me being childish, but Leicester are closer to the title than Liverpool.
Essentially.
Well, hold on. And this is why I say you can never catch me out.
It's different.
You can never. How? Why?
Because we're talking about scraping into top 4. That's different compared to competing for the title. Which
No, but who's more likely to win the title to you, Liverpool or Leicester?
No, but it's different when you're going further.
But that's what I was trying to explain to you.
Yeah, did I? What did I say when you?
You said it was dubious, so can I say yours is dubious as well?
Go ahead. You guys have been saying it's basically dubious the whole time.
It's dubious.
What was the first thing you said? The first thing I want to know is Leicester. That's basically saying it's dubious.
Yeah. Alright, cool.
Exactly. So listen, I'm not
So
saying
Liverpool are more likely to win the Premier League than Leicester, but you got Leicester above Liverpool.
Yes.
Can I clarify?
Yes.
Look,
It's
look,
right
you
in
know
front of
what?
your eyes.
The thing is,
Right in front of your
I
eyes.
understand it, but the reason why I was onto him is because he tried to get onto me for that very same
I think what
thing.
you're trying to say is...
No, I just disagreed with the logic.
So are you trying to say that if it's tight, you think Leicester will edge it over Liverpool,
No,
essentially?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I think Leicester are going to get the top 4. I'm not telling you how it's going to happen.
But the Liverpool more likely to win the league.
Yes, Liverpool are more likely to win the league than Leicester.
But Leicester are going to get top 4.
Yeah, because Liverpool have a higher ceiling. Do you know what I mean? But I'm saying Liverpool...
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I'm saying it makes sense. The only reason why I was onto him is because he got onto me for that same thing.
Listen,
What
we
he's
know
saying
that.
makes sense.
We know Liverpool has the higher ceiling, but I'm just saying I don't see Van Dijk getting back to his best. Even Trent, do you know what I mean? They did. Listen, I love Trent. I'm just saying I don't know if he's going to be peak Trent. Is Mane going to get back to peak Mane? Salah yesterday, a goal, 2 assists, involved in all 3 goals. Joe obviously bagged, but where's the rest?
I think the
goals
biggest
coming
thing as well is that you have to remember Salah and Mane are going in January for the AFCON. That's
I
a
didn't even
big
consider
that's a
that.
big miss, and
Which is
they
huge.
still haven't made signings. 2 weeks left of the transfer window. If you lose Salah and Mane in your team, what? Oxlade-Chamberlain playing on the wing with Jota and
Oxlade
who else?
And Klopp's out here making excuses in press conferences.
Bro, he's
rather
trying to
than
send
making
shots,
moves.
5 shots
Come on,
all
man.
round.
Focus
But
on
he's
your
been
own
doing
team.
this, man.
Yeah, tell him to shut.
He's been doing this, man.
Pepper's been reacting, by the way. I don't know if you man have seen the quotes.
I haven't seen Pep because I saw
Pepper's
what
been moving
Klopp was
nuts.
like. Chelsea, Man City, and United are moving mad in the pandemic and all of that. And obviously, of course, we take a pandemic seriously. But if clubs have the money to spend, they have the money to spend. Do you know what I'm saying? That's how I see it, of course. And I think he's a bit bitter.
Yeah,
like it's coming from a place of
Definitely
bitterness.
jealous. But
Can't
listen,
lie to you.
I don't even want to. That's just a ball take, you know, that Leicester are going to finish on the top 4. I want it to be different. But more importantly, I want to talk a little bit about United because we haven't really spoken about United. We got off to a flyer. Bruno Fernandes is looking nuts. And I think, you know, even the fact that we're saying that we're going to be in the mix is very impressive. Liverpool have been the top team the past few seasons, Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues. Chelsea just won the Champions League. And City have been the best team in the league for a while. I think we made a leap as Manchester United. I think we really can compete for the title. And if Oli, you know, can really perform at a top level, you know, tactics wise, you know, managing the squad, etc., I really do think we can win the league. I think United are not a team to be slept on.
Edward Wood said he's gonna leave with a bang. But
got-
to be
I've
fair,
got-
though,
And he has.
I've got a quick question regarding the longevity of United. So, the weekend...
before you say that though,
No,
I'm just
no.
saying quickly. So you're no longer like Glazer out and all of that. You love them now.
What?
I mean, they're putting their money where their mouth is, isn't it?
No, bro. There's more to owning a football club than just putting money on the table. You can spend a little bit of bread, but listen, there's a lot more. There's still a leaking roof. There's still a lot that needs to be done before, you know, we're saying we're
But
happy with the Glazers.
I do have a question for you though, just in regards to United's longevity. Obviously on the weekend we saw Pogba playing left wing, left mid, whatever you want to call it. But that's obviously not your full team wasn't back here, innit? You still got Rashford to come back or whatever, and Cavani or whoever. United's biggest problem and the problem that they've yet to address in this transfer window is the problem in midfield, innit? Ideally you want to be playing Bruno and Pogba in the middle of the park, innit? But Fred is unreliable. McTominay too unreliable. They're only really good when they play as a pair. Them two. Do you know what I'm saying? So just in terms of your title hopes, if you don't get that midfielder that you kind of need, what would that kind of mean for you? Because I don't think the formation or the team that you've fielded on the weekend, that can't be your team going forward. Rashford has to play.
Oh,
Martial doesn't have to play,
Sancho's
but
guaranteed.
Sancho has to play. Do you know what I'm saying? So
I think with regards to the midfield, it's about rotation, man. Because Matic played.
why isn't Van der Beek playing, by the way?
Bro, and in pre-season, that's what I'm saying. That's the point I was going to make. That I think Oli has learned his lesson in that. Because even in his quotes, he's been saying that the players got burnt out last season. You know, you overworked them. So I think Matic and Van der Beek will definitely get more minutes in the pivot. I think even Van der Beek will get minutes in the 10 when Bruno needs a rest. So I think we'll see a lot more rotation. Yeah, man. We got a deeper squad now. So I think, yeah, man. Like, as long as Ollie improves as far as the squad management, getting the best out of the 12th, 13th, 14th guy, then
I will say
think
though,
we'll be alright.
because you're always on Cho, you're always on to me about Cho, but him and Van der Beek have very similar situations in which we know their quality, but we're not really sure why their managers aren't using him.
I think Van der Beek's a bit more proven than Cho, but I hear you. But
Yeah, Cho, doesn't that make it even worse for him then?
what do you mean?
That he's not playing, and there's no reason as to why he's not playing because he's more proven.
For Van der Beek?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. Fam, I don't know, man. Ollie doesn't. I'm not a fan. Do you know what I mean? But pre-season he played really well. I think he's shown his versatility as well. He's bulked up a little bit. He can play in the pivot. For me, he can, and he can play in the 10. Obviously, he's not Bruno in the 10, but he keeps things ticking. And he can be quality in there, man. I think it's up to Ollie, man. Like, he has to use him. I think he knows that now. Quotes are coming out saying that he's a man on a mission. You know what I mean? In training, he's trying to put himself out there, trying to make it known that he deserves game time. And I think second season now, Ollie's not gonna do him dirty again and not give him minutes. Do you know what I mean? It's probably just a thing of where he has to take the opportunity when he gets it. But I reckon he will get more of a chance this season.
That's, the only thing left is fam, man. United definitely need to win a trophy this year.
Hey, but listen, Champions League Varane, real addition. That is I think it's going to be very interesting to see who is the best centre back in the league this season. Because between Varane, Van Dijk, and Diaz, I'm not 100% sure that it's Van Dijk. I'm not going to say that it's one of the other guys, but I think it's up in the air. Who are those three is the best centre back in the league?
I think it's quite clearly Van Dijk.
Based on
But
what,
he
2
said
years
he
ago?
put
That's
his
based on
things
2
No,
years
I know.
ago.
Van Dijk though.
I still think it's based off of what we last saw of Van Dijk.
Yeah, that's 2 years ago, though.
No, what we last saw of him was yesterday, to be fair, but...
Really?
What?
Against Norwich?
Facts,
You wanna judge him against Norwich?
No, I'm just saying it was facts. He said
does
when
have
we
an
last saw
argument,
him.
though.
No, I said... No, of course he has an
He
argument.
knows that
of course.
argument as well.
Of course. But I still think it's a bit disrespectful to say it's up in the air because why is... and it's all on...
No, it is though.
One sec. It's all... The reason why I'm... Because I don't want to spend too long on this argument, but the reason why I'm saying it's a bit unfair to say it's up in the air based off of only Van Dijk's injury when we've seen the fact that Varane's last 2 visits to England hasn't been great. Got bullied by Gabriel Jesus. To be fair, he didn't actually play in Stamford Bridge, but he wasn't great against Chelsea either in the home in the home tie. So for me, Varane's not been on a decline or anything like that, but it's just Varane's not shown me that he's this leading outstanding. And one sec. Diaz, yeah, cool. Do you know what? You can even give Diaz Player of the Year, but the last we've seen of Varane, who hasn't had an injury, I thought Varane was poor in the Euros. I thought he wasn't commanding. He didn't lead his he was poor. Poor in the fact that we're given or putting him in the conversation for best centre back in the league. Yeah. He was poor. And what you brought him for? One sec. No, but I'm more focused on Varane because he hasn't played in the Premier League. My whole argument is the fact that the argument about the best centre back in the league being all on the fact that Van Dijk is injured is false for me because there's other things to it. The last we saw of Varane, I didn't think he was this world beater. I didn't see the Champions League Varane.
Well, you don't think he's got enough credit in the bank? No, he's still in his prime.
No, fam. No one can ever take away the 4 Champions Leagues. But one thing that will always hang over his head is the fact that Sergio Ramos was right next to him.
Oh, for
that
sure.
will always hang over his head. The fact that I think in the first 2 Champions Leagues it was Pepe and not him who played.
Because he was a youngster, innit?
But he was still he wasn't that young in the second one. And Pepe was in the twilight of his career.
Okay, fair. Yeah.
But yeah, hey, it's neither here.
We'll see
in it.
And that's one of the storylines of the season.
No, of course, man, 100%. Cool. We'll move on quickly to surprise teams and just breeze through that. Surprise teams. Yeah, I think again we can go to him because Brentford is an interesting shout. I know they obviously got a very good win, but
yeah, I just like the look of their team, man. I think Ivan Toney's a gunman. I see him, putting balls in the back of the net.
Roughed up Ben White, boy.
Aye, Ben White, I think, and he's got Lukaku next. He's gonna get ragged. Game after
I just
game.
think it's mad because I just have a different perspective to everyone. I didn't think Brentford were impressive at all. Like they didn't do
Last
anything. Even in this game, the game we saw against Arsenal, I didn't think they were that impressive.
It's not so much. It's
I
not
get
so much
2-0
about.
win
I
against
think the biggest
Arsenal.
storyline was Arsenal as opposed to Brentford.
That's my point. And my thing is, of course, I'm not trying to take away from Brentford. I mean, we're not trying to seclude Brentford fans from our podcast. Of course not.
We ain't got a Brentford scarf, though, innit? We ain't got a Brentford. Every single team ain't got a Brentford scarf, though.
Nah, man. Hey, Brentford, all credit to them. A big win against one of the biggest heritage teams in the Premier League. But for me, personally, when we look at teams that come up, we see... To be fair, it still needs to see a couple more games. But for me personally, I don't think it was that impressive. I didn't think Brentford, wow, they play such a brand of football. It was more hard work, desire. There was a huge period in that game where Arsenal should have scored. They had a number of chances to score. They were in a number of very, very good situations to score, and they weren't able to take it.
It
But
sound like you're judging like a top half team. Or
And they
something.
didn't have a Birmingham or like a
I know, but we're talking about surprise team. I don't think that's why when we get to relegation candidates, they're in my relegation.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
That's
and they
not
will finish 20th.
But that's what I'm saying. The surprise team aspect is relative. What's the surprise team?
Of course, but that's what I'm responding to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's low expectations for Brentford. That's why I think a potential mid-table, bottom half of the mid-table is a surprise season.
Do you think so?
If they finish 12th, 13th, that's a very...
Oh, you said bottom half of mid-table.
Yeah, that is bottom half of mid-table. 12th, 13th.
Bottom half of mid-table.
Jesus Christ, what the hell is that, bro? Bottom half of mid-table.
As in a mid-table side, 10th, 9th, 11th, 12th, in that mix.
Bottom half of mid-table.
You get what I mean, right?
I've never heard anyone say that.
So what you're trying to say is, if you were to divide the league into quarters, that third quarter team essentially.
Middle of the pack, but bottom end of the
Third quarter.
No, bottom end.
Why don't you just say top half of the bottom?
No.
Oh, poor.
No, but why has it made sense though?
Bottom half of the mid. I've just never heard that.
I've never heard in my life.
It's not about where have you heard it, it's can you connect the dots. I'm saying they're going to finish 12th, 13th, bottom half.
Can you just say that, please?
Yeah, can you just say
Yeah, but I don't need to
I said
Yeah.
bottom half of mid-table.
there's either mid-table or there's no table?
Yeah, but mid-table's 10th. 10th is a
Can we
terrific
stop talking about
season.
tables and just...
Listen, I just think they're going to have a good season.
Cool.
And you need a gunman, and they got one.
Can you quickly say why?
For me, Leeds last year they finished 9th. They've got a manager who I think is one of the top managers in the league, personally, in Bielitsa. I think that...
Who?
Hey, at least there's a shooter in here. He plays for the Warriors.
So can I tell you what happened, yeah? Let me tell you what happened.
Kieran's not going to be impressed.
Let me tell you what happened. I was looking through NBA rosters.
Oh, Bielsa. Carry on.
They got a top manager in Bielsa. And yeah, man, I just think that what I mean by surprise team is I think they could compete for a European place, man. Yeah, they have a good enough team, good enough manager, and you never know. Obviously, of course, they had a bad result on the weekend, but good side, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? Happens, man.
Yeah, and very quickly, look, Crystal Palace. I know it was we roughed them up. First game of the season, but
And
look,
the manager's begging for new signings.
yeah, I mean, rightly so though. Crystal Palace, I think, was one of the hardest undercover projects in the league because of the amount of players that were. They had the oldest average age last season, and yeah, it was a tough project, innit? Like it was tough to rework that side, getting new players, and then the fact that Eze obviously got injured as well, one of their biggest pieces. So Uncle Pat's got a big job.
Huge job.
Big job. But
Huge job.
again, it's either make or break. He's either gonna do really
What
well.
would be a surprise season for
really
Palace?
bad. I think a surprise season for them would be a top half finish.
So you got them
Top half of the middle.
No, I haven't personally got the. I haven't got them top half, but I'm saying that would be a surprise season for me personally. New manager, first time in the Premier League, a lot of new players. But yeah, man, It's not been bad. It's not been bad for a first episode. Giving you, man, a couple of our predictions for the season. Obviously, you're going to be hearing a lot more from us in terms of the other things that we had, other categories that we've had, or that we have, sorry. What are you, man, saying? How do you think it went?
It's a good show, man. Good show.
Just didn't like your little take on City, man. Didn't like your tone, man.
Just know, listen, we put a mark.
I'm excited for this season, though. I
am so excited.
I think I'm nervous in a sense where there's going to be more people, more fans that are going to be heartbroken because there's more teams that are in it. Yeah. But it's good for the
super competitive season. I genuinely think we could see 3 English teams in the Champions League semi-final, that type of season. It's going to be serious.
Very, very quickly, surprise player for the season.
Mason Greenwood. That's my young
pack it
driller.
in. Rico Henry, Brentford, fullback. Watch out for him.
Saeed Benrahma. I'm gonna say it like that all the time. I'm sorry, but yeah, man, it's been 3 up top. Powered by Highpressmedia, of course. Josh, close us out.
It's your boy JK. The key ingredient must stay out of the mix, man. It's your boy here. You know.
The streets are saying he needs a new catchphrase for the
Nah, bro, this one's permanent, bro. This one's sticking, bro. But yeah, man. Peace and love, people, man. Appreciate it.
Deuces.